don't know what I was supposed to learn from season 3 of Euphoria. Because there was some mess going on up in there, but I'm going to take a stab at it. Stick around to see who got to go to hell. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Indescribable, aka Geraldine Lake. Before we get started, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every single time that I upload. Now, I just finished season 3 of Euphoria, and I'm sure plenty of people missed the plot. Okay, I'm sure, because it was breastises and butts and violence and other things that I can't mention because I don't want YouTube to take this video down. Okay, I feel like at least Degrassi had lessons that we could learn every episode to teach us something, you know. Don't have sex before marriage, or use a condom, or maybe don't sell drugs. You know, Euphoria was just a horse of a different color, if I might say so myself. And so we're gonna dive into season 3. Take a walk with me. After watching all 3 seasons, I think Euphoria is about what happens when people spend their entire lives chasing something outside of themselves that they think is going to make them whole or a complete person. And that's what I think we saw in season 3. Everybody kind of had a reckoning to face themselves. Like, who are they really when nobody's watching? These ain't children no more. These are grown adults. I mean, I'm using the term loosely because they were still children to me, but I'm also 37, so. But this is important because high school gives you an excuse, right? When you're 16, you're a teenager, people expect you to be confused and make bad decisions. You don't know nothing. Your frontal lobe ain't developed all the way. But when you're 23, 24, 25, and still doing the same things that you were doing as a child, people start asking different questions. Because now I got questions. The first person we got to talk about is Rue, because Rue really is not a character. She really is avoidance personified. Rue is what happens when you spend years running away from grief, pain, friendships, accountability, yourself. And what makes her so relatable? We can look at her and we can see ourselves in her in one form or another. Maybe not the addiction, but to some extent. A lot of us use work or shopping or alcohol to escape our problems and not be accountable for the reality that we're in. It's all a distraction, right? And the older I get, the more I realize that healing requires you to sit in it. Sit in the discomfort, sit in the uncertainty. You got to sit in the confusion, and you got to sit with yourself. Like, that's what true healing looks like. Silencing everything and really starting to do that inner work. But that's something that Rue has been avoiding from the very beginning. She was literally a train wreck from season 1 all the way up to the finale. I mean, baby girl just could not get it together. She went from one distraction to the next, right? Like, and she just kept ending up in a worse and worse situation. Now she's a snitch. But I don't fault her because I too am a snitch. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're listening to this right now, if you're watching this video, I want you to know, don't do no crimes around me. Okay, if you enjoy freedom and not being a product of the prison system, don't do no crimes around me because I like to tell it. I like to tell it, all right? Go to hell. Don't drag me in your mess, okay? You can go to hell. Now, I know Cassie was getting on everybody's nerves, but baby girl she was just trying to make some money. I get it. She ain't no different than the girls we see today on Instagram. Unfortunately, though, she has confused attention with love, and she thinks that because people desire to be in her presence or take pictures of her or ask her for special types of videos, she thinks that that's love. And baby girl, oh child, you just don't know what love is. You just don't know. But Cassie is also what happens when you receive endless attention and you still feel empty on the inside. Poor thing. Cassie just became whatever version of herself that she thought people wanted, which is crazy because I felt like even Maddie started taking advantage of that at the end. The older version of Cassie that we see in season 3 is exactly what happens when a person never learns to be who they are or accept themselves outside of other people's opinions, right? She's still clinging to that acceptance and validation that she felt in high school. But truthfully, social media has created an entire generation of Cassies. People who are willing to do anything for likes. They'll post anything to get clicks and views or even to monetize. You know, we talk about the OnlyFans phase. I'm not against sex work at all. Get your money how you get it, because there would not be an OnlyFans if there were not clients and customers, okay? If y'all mad about it, let's start there. But you can't build your self-worth around strangers' approval. Cassie became totally dependent on other people's, attention. And I think that she thought, maybe some of the people around her thought that that was confidence and liberation, but it really was just codependency. Like, she could not thrive without other people telling her she was beautiful, she had a great body. Like, she needed that constant attention. And I want to talk about this raggedy husband of hers. Nathaniel. Nathaniel was a control freak. He wanted control over the money. He wanted control over his woman. He wanted control over all the situations. Lying to me up until the wedding and having gangsters mob out during the reception is crazy. Nathaniel, she should have whooped his ass right then and there. Okay? She should have said, I don't know this nigga like this. Leave me out of it. That's what I would have said. Because people who are truly secure don't need to control everything and everybody around them. Now, you can make people obey you, but you can't make them love you. I think Nate was really searching for a different type of intimacy in Cassie, and he was just never going to get it. They were just doomed from the start. She was literally an attention whore, and he wanted all of her attention. She was never going to be satisfied with Nathaniel. After I see somebody cut your toe off, hey, again, I don't know this man. Why am I even in it? How did I even get in this? I don't know these people like that. This ain't even my house. I don't know these people. Baby girl did right to get her things, but I knew as soon as she moved into that new place, I knew them people was going to find her. I knew it. And then we have Maddie, y'all. I think Maddie represents a person who she kind of was trying to parlay it up into something else. You know, she was still trying to find her way. But she was a little further along than Cassie because at least she understood that being desired by people is not the same as genuine love and admiration. And it definitely ain't respect. I love that Maddie discovered her worth outside of what other people see when they look at her. That was a pivotal part of her growth throughout the last season. Even though she turned into a pimp. Because what was that? I didn't know if she was trying to get the girl back for taking her man, or if she genuinely was trying to help her because she kind of knew the lay of the land as far as social media was concerned. But I didn't like the whole friendship until like the very last episode. Like I was like, I don't even know what's going on anymore, but both of y'all are pissing me off. I don't want a friend like Maddie or Cassie because both of y'all are deranged and crazy. What is going on here? Now let's talk about my girl Jules. When she put that winged liner on them eyes and snatched that face, I don't know, Jules does something for me. I love to see her. But she was always trying to figure out who she was. I ain't like that for her. I wanted her to be loved, and I wanted her to experience a love that wasn't ashamed of her and people that didn't want to take advantage of her or fetishize her. I wanted her to know genuine, true love. And I wanted her to not be somebody's dirty little secret. The sugar daddy thing was a nice little situation. However, like, girl, going to sleep by yourself every night, I ain't like that. I ain't like that for Jules. And the crazy part about it is most adults haven't figured that out either. You know, these people are in their early 20s. We be 35, 36, still not knowing. I'm still in the middle of transitioning and pivoting my content to figure out who I really am outside of what people want to see from me. So this is not me taking a dig at Jules. This is me saying, girl, I see you. I understand. We are Jules, okay? Some of us are Ruth. Some of us are Maddie. Some of us are Cassie. Some of us are Jules. I pray to God ain't none of y'all Nate. Because, boy, what the hell you was doing at them people's job? Laundering money and larceny and whatever, grand theft auto. At this point, this boy could be guilty of anything. Lock him up. I don't know. Lock him up. I'm not going to say he got what he deserved. I'm going to say when you involve yourself in that world, things are bound to happen. And you can't play the game without either wanting to win the prize or accept the consequences when you lose. Is all I'm saying. My biggest frustration of season 3 is that everybody was older, but nobody was wiser. Not a single person was making better decisions. It just got increasingly worse. Age doesn't necessarily mean growth or maturity. Unfortunately, people get older all the time and they never grow up. But the real villain, okay, we could talk about addiction, we could talk about the toxic relationships. The real villain was avoidance because Rue was avoiding her addiction. Cassie was avoiding self-worth. Nate avoids accountability and vulnerability. I think Jules was avoiding rejection and Maddie was avoiding uncertainty. But I mean, how long can you run before your problems catch up to you? Now, why does Euphoria resonate with so many people? I had a hard time watching this, y'all, because of the lewdness, the vulgar moments, the nudity, because that's just not my cup of tea. I don't enjoy watching stuff like that. I don't even watch porn. I think that people saw themselves in a lot of these characters. It is a very realistic situation for a lot of people, unfortunately. Some people are forced into, sex work and homelessness once they come out of the closet, or if they're dealing with drugs and substance abuse. We have all looked for healing in places where we were essentially harmed, in a place where healing was never going to exist. We all stayed in situations longer than we should have, and we've all avoided something. So the biggest lesson from season 3 for me is, baby, ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to do it yourself. Nobody is coming to save you. There's no amount of money that you can have. There's no amount of social media clout, attention from people. There's no amount of fans. I can speak to this personally. if there is a void in your life, substances won't fill it, attention won't fill it, followers won't feel it. It's just gonna be there until you figure out what is missing inside of you. That thing that you're searching for, you got it. You gotta find self-worth. It's worth of yourself. Okay, self-confidence, confidence in yourself. You got to build that up. It can be affected by external influences if you allow it to be, but that wholeness and that completeness is not gonna come from outside sources. And every character in Euphoria is having to learn that the hard way. Lord, I hated to see my girl go, but I liked the cameo from Fez at the end. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did Euphoria stick the landing, or is this just shock and trauma dumping and passing it off as entertainment? I ain't gonna lie, I struggled to find the meaning at some points, but I think I did okay. So like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. And hit that notification bell so you can know every time I upload. Now, don't act up in these comments, okay? Because you can also go to hell. All right, I'm going to see you at the next video. Peace.